If you've been looking at a new Windows PC and keep seeing Snapdragon pop up but are thinking, who even are Snapdragon? What are they about? And are their PCs going to do what I need? Well, keep watching as I'm going to walk you through what Snapdragon-powered PCs are, what they might be good for, and why they might be the right fit for you. Let's start with why a Snapdragon PC might actually make your day-to-day easier. First up, battery life. These Copilot PCs powered by Snapdragon are built for multi-day use. That means you can get through work, travel, or a full weekend without constantly checking your battery percentage. They're also fanless, which yes, of course, means no distracting noise, but they still stay cool. These PCs are built with efficient thermal design that keeps temperatures in check without needing a fan. That protects your hardware and supports that long battery life by avoiding unnecessary power drain. And speaking of power drains, Unplugged Performance usually is a big one. You know the usual story, as soon as you unplug that charger, either your battery life tanks or everything slows down. Well, with Snapdragon PCs, you don't lose speed either when you're not plugged in. Whether you're working from a cafe or your couch, you get the same performance without needing to hunt for a socket. And lastly, if you like to always have the latest features, you also get early access to the newest Copilot Plus features, like Recall, Click to Do, and Improve Windows Search. These are designed for the ARM architecture, so will always drop to Snapdragon first and are there to help you find things faster and stay focused, especially if you're juggling a lot. So, if you're after a laptop that's light, quiet, and genuinely efficient no matter where you're working, then Snapdragon is a solid option. Now, you might have heard that Snapdragon uses ARM architecture. I did mention it like 30 seconds ago. And maybe that sounds different from what you've used before. So the big question is, will your apps work? Here's the short answer, yes. Based on the data, 90% of the time people spend in non-gaming apps today is in apps that already have a native ARM version. For everything else, there's Prism. It's a built-in emulator that lets older apps run smoothly without needing developers to rewrite them. So whether it's something you use every day or once in a while, it's likely covered and it'll run well. Let's look at what that means in real life. Apps like Excel, Adobe Acrobat, and all the major browsers, including Edge, Chrome, Firefox, run great. VPNs, well, they're also covered. Teams, Zoom, Google Drive also have native support. Well, surely my creative tools won't work. Wrong. Apps like DaVinci Resolve and Photoshop run natively, and even if an app is emulated, like Premiere Pro, it still performs well. Just ask our editor Chris. But what about gaming? That's always been best on x86 architecture, so it must not work on ARM. Well, this is where things have really started to evolve. It used to be that ARM-based PCs were mostly limited to cloud gaming. That's streaming games using an internet connection rather than downloading them on PC. But now, Xbox insiders can actually download and play titles locally through the Xbox PC app on Snapdragon-powered devices. Over 1,400 titles already work, and Snapdragon PCs support auto super resolution to boost visuals. Epic's easy anti-cheat tool now works with Windows and ARM, which means a bunch of online games that rely on it are now playable on Snapdragon-powered laptops. Fortnite is one of the first to take advantage of this, with support rolling out specifically for Snapdragon X series devices. So this is all a solid step forward for native gaming on ARM. If you want to check a specific app or game, head to worksonwoa.com or Snapdragon's compatibility page. They've got the top 100 apps listed and more. Quick note, also on printers, because that's another common question. Snapdragon PCs support over 8,500 wireless printers through Mopria's Universal Print Standard. So no extra drivers and no complicated setup. Just plug in via USB or connect over Wi-Fi and Windows handles the rest. Brands like Epson, Canon and Brother are already rolling out full support. So if you've been curious about Snapdragon's PCs but weren't sure what to expect, then hopefully this clears things up. They're fast, quiet, compatible, and built for how people actually use their devices today. If that sounds like what you've been looking for, it's worth checking them out. If you're curious about deep dives into some of the PCs with Snapdragon processors, then check out some of our previous overviews next, like this, or this. And as always, be sure to subscribe as well, as we'll always be covering the latest and greatest from Microsoft and Windows. But for now, that's all from me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!